Hello and welcome to part 2 of 2 on Tutorial Tuesday. We're starting our Christmas series tonight. Are you guys so excited? I have been just waiting and waiting to do this one particular item that we're going to do tonight, and I'm so excited about it. It's our unicorn pull behind toy, and we're going to do it like a rustic toy tonight, like an old wood carving. So super excited about that. But before we jump in, let's just talk about a couple of things really quick. You'll notice the little ticker at the bottom of the screen says that our Christmas products box is available for sale on our website, www.seriouslysweetcupcakes with an S on the end.com. And in addition to the box goodies, there is a pre-recorded tutorial included featuring 3 designs, and there is a contest and a whole bunch of other good things going on in that group. So there is a private Facebook group for it. All the details are on our webpage. There's just a few boxes left. So grab your boxes. If you want to jump off and get those really quick, we're going to be doing out just a little bit of housekeeping with what's coming up this weekend, and then we're going to jump right in our tutorial. All right. So also don't forget, this weekend is our second in the 3 holiday stackables classes. It's actually the 5th of the stackables classes this year, but it is the second in the holiday series. So Mr. Claus is this weekend, also for sale on our website, seriouslysweetcupcakes.com. It's not too late to get in on that either. So let me put this simpler version. That will be in for people watching the replay later. Here's a simpler version for you guys for tonight. And let's say hello to a few people. Let me take this away really quick. And then we'll say hi to a few people. And we're going to jump right in our tutorial because I'm just so excited about it. All right, here we go, guys. So this is Tutorial Tuesday. We're weekly at noon and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Aren't you guys back? Aren't you glad we're back on Eastern Standard Time? I'm so happy. All right, quick reminder again, Christmas boxes are on sale. So you guys jump off and grab those. There's just a few of them left. This is what we're going to be doing tonight. It's our unicorn pull behind toy. This weekend is our main Santa Claus class. Don't forget, if you're in this class already, we have a prep video on Thursday night, but you'll have plenty of time to do it. If you can't join me live Thursday night, plenty of time to do what you need to do between then and Saturday morning. Okay, so no stressing out. All right, I think that covers it. We have one more stackables class after that, and that will be our candy nutcracker. You can call him a toy soldier, but we're going to have so much fun with that cookie too. Can't wait for you guys to see that. And I've been working on my schedule for teaching for 2023, and you guys are going to laugh, but someone brought it to my attention earlier today that when I told you that the boxes were for sale this morning, that I said it would be the last box of 2023, and I meant 2022, but I had just locked down another teaching engagement in 2023, so I had been fully immersed in the 2023 calendar. I know, so silly, but it is not the last box between now and the end of 2023. It is the last box for 2022, and it's a really cool box. I'm not going to ruin the surprises for you, but I will tell you that I worked diligently with people within our specific Cookie Snack Attack group to purchase most of the items that are in this box so that we could help support other small businesses. So thank you guys. I enjoyed it so much. I loved working with everyone, and I hope you guys are going to like this specialty box so much. Hope you'll like it as much as I do. All right, let's say hi, and then we're going to get started, okay? Let's see. Yes, stars is on. Someone asked about this earlier. Stars are, you can do stars to support the page at the Seriously Sweet on Davis Street Facebook page if you'd like to do that. And then on my website, there's also a tab that says tip your favorite creator or tip your favorite artist. And that'll take you to my coffee shop site if you ever want to drop a little extra money my way to upgrade equipment or go towards the new computer that we need or any of that live streaming stuff that we do. So I've got 2 avenues there for you. Camille, hello, hello. I saw you got your box. I'm so excited. Sabra, I saw you got your box. It's good to see you. Miss Pamela got her box. That's exciting. Miss Peggy, so good to see you tonight. How are you? I feel like it has been forever since I've seen your sweet face. Hey, Myra, how are you tonight? Hello, Facebook user. Tell me who you are. Sally Newton. This is Sally Newton from the Midwest, and she's cooking dinner and saying hi, multitasking, and probably watching Prince. That's my best guess. Hello, Robin. I'm glad you're feeling better. Hi, Miss Barbie. How are you? It's good to see you tonight. Priscilla, good to see you. Let's see. Oh, we have a lot more people jumping on, you guys. I hope you guys all got your text alert. Hey, Debbie. That is Debbie in Pennsylvania. This is Debbie Saunders. I can hardly see my screen. I must have something. Let me fix something real quick, you guys. I feel like I've got something not set just. Oh, there we go. And I fixed the brightness. Hello, Miss Sally. How are you? That's sweet Sally from Florida. Sally told me she really likes the gift tags that I've been putting in the Stackables classes. So I asked her if she'd like them in all the classes. And now I'm thinking for sure we should maybe add them to all of the classes that are for occasions, right? So like Christmas classes, Thanksgiving things, like any holiday type stuff, anything that you guys might go to a market and sell or might do pre-orders for. So we'll talk about that a little bit more, but I'm certainly willing to do that. We can just add that into your files section. I'm just glad you guys are enjoying them. Hello, Miss Deborah. Hi, Kathy. I saw you guys got boxes. Hey, Nadine. There are a few boxes left. So if you want to grab a box, go do that now. They will be shipping the Monday after Thanksgiving, and I cannot wait to get them out to you. Hey, Lavelle. Hi, Debbie. I know I'm so excited about these Christmas classes. I love them. I really enjoyed. Well, Myra, I don't know. Maybe it's blind faith, but the box is really good. It's really good. It's got a lot of gifty items in it. And by the way, I did want to tell you, hey, Sharon, I hope you're holding up okay. Kelly, hello. Myra, I'm going to come back to you. If I don't put that statement in there again in a second, just give me a second to get through this. Hello there. Hi, Dee Dee. So your boxes. Hey, how are you today? You are very welcome. We're going to keep praying for you, Miss Sharon. You just have so much on your plate right now, too, and I totally feel for you. Hi, hello. You're freezing in Quebec. I'm sorry. Somebody in our area is about to get 3 foot of snow, so I think they feel for you, too. Okay, so your boxes. Let's talk about these boxes. So an item that was ordered. Here, come get under here. Thank you. Give me just one sec, guys. Go get in your beds. Come on. And, my little Anna, she can't decide if she wants to stay with me or her daddy right now. She's just running back and forth. And by the way, Anna, if you're new to the group, Anna is my puppy. She is not a child. She's our puppy daughter. How's that? Okay, so your boxes. I'm psyched about these because they're going to come with the pre-recorded tutorial, which is a $40 value. It has 3 designs in it. There's going to be a contest. So there's prizes that you can win for participating. That's all in the group. I'm not going to explain that now. Plus, there's all kinds of things that were commissioned from people within our group to put in your boxes this time. Plus, we were adding an item at the end there that I really wanted you guys to have before Christmas so you could play with it if you don't already have it. And we got someone helped us out, and let's just say you're getting more than what you were supposed to be getting. So I think the website shows your boxes are valued at like $120 or something, but I think they're now upwards of $140. So I'm super excited about that. I think it's going to be really fun for you. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about it, but there's not that many left. So if you do want a Christmas box, comes with gift items in it, and there's a pre-recorded tutorial that opens up for it on December 5th, and there's a contest that's involved with it. If you would like that, please go to the website and snatch your boxes because there's not that many left. It's on the website at seriouslysweetcupcakes.com. Hello there. How are you tonight? Hi, Nimrose. How are you tonight? All right. So many of you know that I planned to do this pull behind unicorn toy with you last year, but then things got crazy. And I couldn't do it last year. So I said, okay, well, we'll do it this year. So I worked it into our Christmas series. So I was sure we would get it done before the end of the year. But as I'm going along tonight, I'm going to talk to you guys about I'll just be interjecting things as we go along about different things that this is also going to be good for. For instance, when I designed the cutter for this, and the cutter is placed with dots and bows, so you can grab that there. Hello, Miss Cynthia. The cutter's placed with dots and bows. It can be done with just this one cutter and do it as a flat cookie. And it is rather large. It is, let me just tell you for sure so I don't misquote the size, but longest area is 6.5. So it's a large cookie. It can be personalized. There's all kinds of things you can do as just a regular flat unicorn cookie. Or you could then take your cutouts for the wheels and you could make it also still a flat cookie, but you could go 2D by lifting up another level to make your wheels. We're going to put it together tonight as a 3D cookie. Okay. Now I'm going to do it Christmas themed tonight. As you can see, I pulled some of my holly and some of my red berries. We're going to use that. I've got some thick white icing when it's time. I'm going to trim my bag slightly differently. We're going to try something new tonight on cutting the tip of our tipless piping bag. I just want to see how that works, what it looks like. So we'll be trying something new there tonight. We're going to keep the unicorn itself very basic, so you don't have to worry about eyeballs or any of those sorts of things. And baby shower, it's sized, that's what I was coming to. It's sized so that it would be a really cute 3-dimensional cupcake topper. No, cake topper, like for a 6-inch cake for a baby shower. A 6 or 8-inch cake would be super cute as the cake topper. It's also made to be 3D, so it can be the center of your cookie platters. But this could be for little boys or little girls. So a lot of uses with it as well. Let's say hi to a couple more people that have jumped on. Hey, Charlotte. Charlotte, are you on the train? Hi, Holly. How are you? Hi, Nicole. Let's see. What brand are your red beads? The ones I have ran color in my white on Mrs. Claus. Okay, did you use Wilton red beads? Because Wilton red beads often do that. I am using something that I ordered online, and honestly, Debbie, I don't know how long I've had it. Deborah, go back because there's not that many left. It does show that there's a few though, because I'm looking at the screen. So go to www.seriouslysweetcupcakes.com. Hey, Phyllis just got her box. All right, awesome. So excited about that. So Debbie, this is the brand. I think these came off Amazon. They're a little larger than I expected them to be. I expected them to be the size of these Wilton. These are 4mm. These are definitely 7mm. So what brand did you use on Mrs. Claus? Came with holly leaves, but I think yeah, the Wilton I've had trouble with before. Any of the Wilton colors. Some of them now have a really good like coating on them, almost like PME confectioner's glaze or something on them. It's not PME glaze on them, but it's shiny like that, so they're like sealed. And I haven't had trouble with those, but not all of them. All right, so let's jump in here. You can hand paint this by taking brown gel food coloring and diluting it with Everclear or water or lemon juice if you wanted to, but I'm going to be doing some airbrushing tonight, and we're going to start in just a second. I want to put something up to cover my keyboard just to make sure if it starts going everywhere that it doesn't get all over my keyboard. Let me see if I can get rid of that shadow though. I don't want you to see that. I'll fold this down. I'll try to keep up with comments. I've got my cordless airbrush ready to go. I've got it charged up. And I'm going to be using some Woodland Brown by the Cookie Countess. You can use any brown you want. We just want to lightly, we are not fully coating this cookie. We want to lightly knock down the color and give an antique background to our 4 wheels. Since we're doing a 3D piece, we needed 4 wheels and then the body of our unicorn. So I'm going to give this a good shake. Whenever I shake airbrush color, I always hold my finger over the tip. It always explodes. It just is a thing it does. So tonight I thought, oh, I finally got all of that Turkish black off my gloves. So I will put gloves on, and I'm so glad I did, because look what just happened. Oh, so much fun. And thanks to Miss Tammy and Mr. Todd at 2T Stencils, I was able to fix an airbrush problem that I had today. Brian, I think Anna needs you. I was able to fix my own airbrush trouble without having to send my airbrush off anywhere. Hey, April, I just saw you're here. How are you doing tonight? Hope everyone is well. All right, now this will be a little bit, maybe a little bit longer tutorial than normal, but maybe not with the way we're going to do it. So we'll just see how it goes. But if at any point you do have to jump off, just so you're not worried, there will be replays available on all the normal places, okay? That's 3 different Facebook groups and my YouTube channel, or pages, I guess. Either the Amy Hicks page, which you're all welcome to friend me on there, or the storefront page, which is Seriously Sweet on Davis Street, or the group page, which is Cookie Snack Attack, or on YouTube, which I think the YouTube channel is Seriously Sweet Cupcakes, or Seriously Sweet on Davis Street. It's one or the other of those, but you'll find me. I've got links for everybody. Laura, if she's on here, Laura, can you give us an update about your husband? I looked, but I didn't see any posts from her before we went live. But if she's watching, maybe somebody could let us know what's going on there. Laura Tiernan. And let's see. Hold on one second. All right. Deborah, let me know how that goes for you. April, unicorns are happy. Let's see. I think everybody's saying hello. Hi, Whoopi. How are you doing tonight? All right. We're checking on that. Did who fall asleep? Wait, is that like a reply comment to someone else? Because when I see the comments, they just come in like their first time comments. So that comment doesn't make any sense to me, Debbie. But if it's for someone else, then we'll just keep going. Okay. All right. So let's quickly do a little airbrushing. Just lightly, you guys. Going to hit it ever so lightly around the edges. You actually might really enjoy this, especially if you need a little cookie therapy tonight, because we are going to, I just saw somebody's order come through on a box, so I'm not sure. Deborah, if that was you, let me know. If not, I'll check on whatever's going on when we get done. We're going to rough these up, and we're going to rough the cookie up a little bit. So if you need to work out a little aggression tonight, this might be just the night for you. So you see how I'm kind of just getting that underneath, because we're going to ice on top of it. And then we're going to do old school style boards. You know, there's so many ways to create signs these days, but we're going to make it look like old boards for our rustic toy. So I just want to knock down the color a little, but I don't want to soak the cookies. Okay, I'm just literally, I want a dark color underneath. This would work great if you wanted to go straight to doing this project in gingerbread or in a chocolate cookie, or use some of that infinitely black cocoa from Creative Cookier, or the other one. I think the other one tastes like Oreos. So I'm going to do, I need to do the back side of these too, if we truly want it to look 3D, in case anybody's peeking in between the wheels. I think I'm going to put my wheels really close to the body of my unicorn, but just in case, we'll just knock down that bright color just a little bit. So what's going to happen is we're going to do our edges around the unicorn. I'm literally just lightly spraying this, you guys. I'm about 6 inches from the cookie, 4 inches from the cookie, just kind of hitting this color. It's okay if you don't cover the whole cookie, and you don't need it to be a dark brown. You just really need to like get different tones and lighten up that blonde sugar cookie. Unless you start with a dark cookie and then you can skip this whole stage. But I think I'll have enough color to finish the whole cookie. And that's what I was trying to gauge tonight, to make sure that the 6 or 7 drops I put in here will do the whole cookie. All right, so looking good so far. All right, Deborah, great. She got her box. It shows there's still just a couple left. So if you guys want the Christmas box, I will tell you that Miss Holly made us an item for this box. I ordered an item from her business. I ordered 2 items from Nadine's business. I ordered an item from Matei's business for this box tonight. Allison, I ordered some things, and Allison made some things for this box. I ordered something from Debbie in our group for this box tonight. I found some cool gifty things I wanted to put in this box, just something fun. You'll know the thing that's a specialty gift from me as soon as you open the box. You'll know immediately, just because of a particular type of item that we've done all year. Then May actually gave us something for in the box. I can't tell you what it is, because then you might guess what the cutters are, and I don't want you to guess anything. There's so few surprises left in life when we get to be adults that I think it's kind of nice to have something like this, a box like this once a year that's just complete surprise for you. But also wanted to make sure everyone knew that it supports people in our Cookie Snack Attack group. So that was a very, very concerted effort. I'm just expelling the extra of the spray. So you can see I probably could have done a whole nother set of wheels, but I just wanted you to see. And I'm rinsing it with water. I got to do it right now because not doing it last time is what caused me my problem today. But luckily I knew how to fix it. Oh, let's see. Who did this? Let's see. Oh, thank you. So it's Seriously Sweet on Davis Street. That's the YouTube channel name. So you guys can find that. Hello, hello. Deborah got her box. You just finished 50 Frozen themed cookie hats and cakes. It is fun when someone else is doing the work, right? Holly, I'm glad to do it. I really appreciate all of you being in the group and all the contributions that you make. Holly, don't tell them what your item is, no matter how much they bribe you, okay? And there were only, the box, guys, is on that website that's floating around the bottom of the screen, seriouslysweetcupcakes.com. It comes with a whole bunch of goodies in it, plus it is, there's a pre-recorded tutorial that's going to release on December 5th and a contest that you have until December 30th to complete. And the other thing I wanted to tell you is don't be expecting a pink box, because when we upgraded to a bigger item of something, it was heavier. So in order to keep your shipping at that $16, I have to pack it in the flat rate priority mail box. So you won't get pink boxes this time, but don't worry, I've got stickers in there for you. So it will still feel like a Cookie Snack Attack box, okay? So Creative Cookies and Pops, if you have any trouble, put a message in the comments there, and one of the girls in the group there will help you. Yes, surprises are nice. And I'm just so thrilled. Debbie, that's in our group, has a friend that makes something, and the item that Debbie took care of arranging for us that I purchased for the box. When you see that item, you're going to be excited. That item's going to allow you to participate in some additional contests. And not for nothing, but if I decide to reorder more of that item and sell it by itself, it's going to have to be more expensive than the value we figured in for your box. So if you're on the fence about the box, it's totally worth it for $80. There's a class included. There's a contest. I mean, there's just lots of expensive goodies in your box, plus some freebies. There are a few little cookie tools in there, but they're not the purpose of your box this time. They're just to help you with the class. Oh, and did I mention there's sprinkles? There's sprinkles in there too. Some from May, some from me. Hey, Allison, how are you? So go grab those boxes. All right, let's get going. So excited about this. All right, so let's see. What should we do first? Well, I think the first thing I want to do is I just want to make sure that my straw is going to go all the way through. So I'm just using a straw. You can use a paper straw, but I baked these with the paper straw, so they're the same size as this plastic straw. Now, with a little 3D printing expertise, Allison, you could turn this into a horse that actually rolls, like you really could roll it, attach a string to it with some of that edible ribbon that Matei told us about that's on her Shopify site. You could make a harness like it was a horse. You could make the halter or bridle, I guess. You could make a bridle. You could put it like it has a loop around its neck. There's a lot of stuff you could do, and you could make it so you could actually roll the toy if you wanted to. Right now, I'm just making sure that I have enough straw because I don't have any more paper straw. I'm not worried about not having a paper straw tonight because when I put mine together, I don't want to see the straw. I'm going to put mine together with a gap about the width of a straw to help it stand up better because it's going to be heavy once we do the horn and the tail. But I don't want to see the straw. I want mine to just be a mantelpiece. I hope that makes sense. All right. And I'm super psyched about your boxes. I hope you guys really like them. Allison. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so looking from top down, and I'm going to lift the camera up a little bit so we have a little bit more work area. So just look away for a second. I'll go pretty slow. Now, when I put this together, there's going to be some icing between these joints, so it'll push the wheels out a little bit, and then that'll hide the little bit of extra straw that I left sticking out on both sides, okay? All right. Let's see. Now, are we ready to get going? So I want to do the unicorn first. Now, I'm definitely going to do one full side. Then we're going to see how long we've been online, because what I do on one side, once it's dry, you'll turn it and do the exact same thing on the second side. Okay. But now if you'll just, I know this is going to disrupt a lot of you because you like perfect cookies. But in 2023, we're going to embrace imperfections because I think that there is this really destructive trend going on right now where you guys are afraid to post your artwork if it doesn't look up to a certain standard. This is what I'm hearing from you guys. And it's honestly, I think, what I believe that I'm seeing on Instagram and places like that. And we're going to get over that in 2023 together. We're just going to move through that and we're going to embrace the imperfections. So when that starts coming up a lot during group, then you guys just know that we're talking about it now so I can get you ready for January, okay? So you can make this and make it to a competition level piece. Please do that if that's your jam. I want you to be happy too. But for everyone who's not at that level of cookieing, I want you to start embracing the things that are imperfect in your cookies and learning how to make those imperfections work and become part of your artist style. So now I'm just going to mess up my unicorn, but not to the level of Halloween destruction. Okay. Yes, I know. I feel you, but I don't want you to do that because every cookier starts somewhere. So you have to look back at your beginning cookies and look at where you are every 3 to 4 months. And if you're cooking on the regular, you're really going to see a huge difference. So you're really probably in most cases being just too hard on yourself. And we have to figure out how to get you guys to a point where you let that go, or you'll stop experimenting. And the best things come from accidents. Like every really good construction project that we've done, every time you guys have been like, oh, I didn't know I could do that, it's because something didn't go according to plan. So I'm just saying, let's embrace that in 2023. Are you worried about this? All right. All right. All right. Sharon's with me. Okay. So this cookie turned out really good. And in all actuality, if I wanted to flat ice it on both sides and do some cute airbrushing patterns, I'd have my baby shower cookie done. Like that'd be it. All I do is ice one side, let it dry, run it through the dehydrator, let it maybe set overnight, flip it over, ice it, let it dry, do airbrushing on both sides, add my little horn and some gold metallic, whichever, whether I wanted to do FDA approved or non-toxic, whatever, do a little loop-de-loop back here for the tail, do the same thing on the wheels, put this baby together, and it's ready to rock and roll. But I want it to look old. I want it to look like an old wooden toy. So one of the things I have to do now is wreck my good airbrushing job. So just hang with me for a minute. I promise you it'll turn out looking good. But I kind of need to scar it up a little bit. So again, if you need to work out some tension, this is your shot tonight. You have permission to wreck your cookie. But we want to age it a little bit. I'm not going to use sandpaper on it, but you could use sandpaper. If you guys have ever done chalk painting, you know how you paint and then you go back and you rough it up so the undercolor shows through the like the white pickle finish or the white chalk finish. Now there's a method to the madness in that I'm going in the direction of where my boards are going to be. Okay. All right, now let's get up in here. I know I'm going to have icing here. I'm going to plan for icing here, 3D type, like 2D type icing where the curly parts of the mane are here. But I do want to cause some nicks on his body, okay? Just so it looks like a beat up wooden toy. Because the older wooden toys like this, they would be old because they don't make them out of wood anymore. They're all plastic. So if you ever catch one of these in an antique shop and you do anything on eBay, these are worth, if you have any of the originals, they're worth quite a bit of money. So don't let them go. And if you give them to grandchildren or great-grandchildren, please make sure somebody knows how much they're worth so that they don't go, ooh, this is old, I don't want to keep it, and put it at a yard sale. All right, now I'm just going to take a soft brush, dust this off. Okay. Get all this off. I'm not going to put any nicks down here, but only because the wheels are going to get covered with the other wheels. So we'll nick these wheels up instead of this. There's no point really in doing those. I'm not messing too much with this tail area or the mane or the horn because that's going to have thick icing on it. But I am going to flip it over and do the same thing on the other side before we move on to the wheels, okay? Now this part I may only decorate the front side and two wheels for you tonight to make the video not be so long, but this part I do need to do right now because I have to get, once these cookie crumbs are involved, it'll get all over everything. So I'm literally just using my X-Acto knife that I cleaned with Everclear before we started, and I'm just scraping up my cookie, and then I'm going to nick it on the areas that will end up being exposed. Okay, so I'm just going to cut some notches out like it was. Okay, and just watch the areas that you're doing it in. Don't do it too deep. You don't want to break the cookie. You just want it to look a little dinged up. Okay, and don't worry about doing your wheels right now because we're going to do the other wheels. So just get in these other areas that you can see. And guys, please try to remember that just because somebody posts something happy on Instagram doesn't mean that their life is rolling along in perfection. It just means that they're not willing to give up what they're working for as they continue forward. They might have had the worst day of their life and posted perfect pictures, or they might have pre-scheduled their Facebook posts 30 days in advance. And you're like, I don't understand how they can be posting all this stuff like they're so happy. And I know they had a death in the family or someone's really ill or, you know, it's mostly businesses. It's business stuff. And you got to keep rolling when you support your families, no matter what's going on in your life. So cut yourself some slack on that too. Okay. Like, it's okay to still post a good cookie picture or to still keep doing business because you have to keep rolling forward. All right, so here's my scarred up cookie, just so you can see it. It's not staying like this, but it's kind of scarred up. Let's go ahead and do these wheels. Pull these straws out. It's raining so hard here and it's freezing. It's freezing outside. All right, now you definitely won't be seeing the back of these wheels, but I want to notch them a little bit. Don't look away, you guys, when you're using an X-Acto knife. Always stay focused on the blade. Don't get distracted. Don't do this if you've got little ones around. Oh, you know what, though? I did the wrong side. Because I'm going to turn this. I'm going to turn this out so that it's more flat, right? Because mine had a little rise. See on that side how they rose just a little bit? So I need to do the same thing on this side. I'm just going to nick it a little bit. It actually does look pretty good here to have it done on both sides, but you don't have to scrape the flat part of it on both sides. Get another couple notches out. Let's dust this off. And it doesn't need to be anything fancy with the dusting off. You can wipe it off with a paper towel if you want. All right, this one's done, just to give you an idea. And we notched it, both sides going around the wheel. Now, we do have to finish this part before we can move on, though, because I need to put the whole thing together so you can see it standing tonight. Anybody on right now that has any questions? I have not heard an update on Jennifer. If you mean Jennifer Saher, I did see a comment that her husband posted in the comment section of her post regarding having a stroke the other day, that it was actually a migraine. It had a particular name. I'm sorry, I can't remember what it was. But it had a particular name, but it was not a stroke. So that's good. That's good news. You just dropped off the 500 Night of Lights. Yes. See, we see stuff they don't see, and they're so happy. And Nadine's so proud of you that you did 500 cookies for one order. You're just really growing leaps and bounds. 94 inside your car before the AC started. Oh, because you're talking about how cold it is. Yeah, it is cold. I don't know what happened. We were at 70 degrees last week and it was fantastic. And I was like, all right, I'm doing some more yard work. I moved some more stuff around. I got some more some more of my planters ready to go for the springtime. Cleaned out the bird baths and turned them over for winter so that they won't freeze because they're concrete. We were just getting all the yard work done, blowing leaves to the corner because around here they come pick your leaves up with this big vacuum truck. So we did that. And I was like, let's keep going. And then, of course, I started a couple little projects and we didn't get them finished that day. And then the next day it was so cold. I was like, I'm not going out there. I'll just have to wait until it hits at least 60 degrees because knowing me, if I go out there and start fooling with that when it's that cold, I'll hurt my hands or something. And then I won't be able to do cookie videos for a couple of weeks. And I just can't have that. How would that work? How could we be doing cookie snack attack videos and not be able to do the videos? So silly. All right. Now don't forget your boxes don't ship until the Monday after Thanksgiving. And we'll give you a full week for everybody to get their boxes before we open the Facebook group so that you all get in there at the same time. I was trying to keep it to where, I mean, I can't guarantee you're all going to have your boxes in that 7 days because I don't know what the weather is in your neck of the woods. But I'm trying to give it a full 7 days with the priority mail shipment so that everybody has them before you get into the group. Okay. Just trying to make it a fun project for you this year. It's not hard. If you're on the fence about that, it's not hard. They are pretty. And you will custom create a design after the class is over. All right. Debbie, are you still on here? Because just an extra shout out to you. for setting me up with the person that's making that item for the group. Don't say what it is because it's a surprise. Even if they try to bribe you, you got to hold firm. Don't let them get you talking about something else and then ask that question and you just steamroll along and answer it. That has happened to me before. I think you're really going to like the item though. Nadine, don't tell them what you made. You actually get 2 things that I ordered from Nadine because we didn't get to do a fall box because there was just so much going on with getting ready for the different shows and things and deadlines for things. I didn't get to do a fall one like I had planned to do. So you have 2 items that Nadine handmade for you. All right, here we go. That's our last wheel. Oh, and you guys, Frosting Creators of San Antonio is doing a virtual event again this year. It's going to be in May. It's free. It's online. And it's pearls. The theme is pearls and lace this year. So you're definitely going to want to make sure you're in that group when the time comes, the Frosting Creators of San Antonio group, because I'm going. Nadine, is Dale saying this is because you did the 500 cookies? Dale, we like our cookie husband, so we appreciate you. Thank you, Debbie. Yes. Definitely. Her husband posted in the comments of that post where we were praying for her in the middle of the night that it was not a stroke. It had a name. It was a specific kind of migraine. No, I'm not going to tell you. Oh, all right. So we appreciate all the support of our families and our husbands on this wild adventure called cookies, right? And it is getting wild right now. Have you guys, I don't know what butter's like in your area, but I cringe when I have to order it. And when it goes on sale, I put a whole bunch of it up. It's just, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And you know what else is ridiculous? While we're just discussing things and I'm getting all these cookie crumbs out of the way, it's ridiculous. I know there's nothing that people can do about it, and there's a lot of people that need help, but it's really ridiculous how long it's taking to get people help in Florida from the 2 hurricanes that went through there. It's just there's not enough contractors. The prices are skyrocketing. You just can't get everything done. It's just, I feel so bad for them. All right, now let's get rid of this. Fabulous. And I didn't ruin my keyboard. Fabulous. We're cleaned up. I think we're good to go. I'm pretty sure I don't have airbrush color all over me. And now here we go. So the first thing we're going to do, remember, we're going to do this rustic. And I'm going to do one side because we've already been on 46 minutes. But as soon as I get this done, you'll be good to go. Okay. Cracking you up. Wagging my eyebrows like a villain. Let's see. 36 pounds of butter. That's good. But the limit was 6. Yeah. Keep going back. Put it up while you can. And eggs here, I used to be able to get 60 eggs for like $2-3, $2.68 up to $3.68. When I looked last week, those 60 egg cartons were over $12. And actually, I think, I don't want to misquote this, but I think it was like $14. I was really like, are you kidding me right now? Thank goodness I'm not doing any baking in the month of December because I'm going to try to take care of some things for family. But I mean, come on. There are some things that should never be that expensive, right? Milk, butter, eggs, bread. My mom in Florida and my sister are still not made whole after the hurricane. How's that? Is that good? Debbie is gotten creative here. She gets eggs from a friend and Trader cookies for them. That is a win-win. That's fabulous. All right. So we are going to use white thick icing. This is about 30 seconds. It can be a little less, but you don't want it to be a lot less. I'm going to cut it to about a 2 point for right now. And I'm just going to put icing. I want to cut, even though I'm going to pipe dimensional icing. Thank you for whoever just purchased a box. Marianne, thank you. I don't know how many more are left, guys. So if at some point you go to get a box and that shows sold out, somebody tell me. Otherwise, grab your Christmas boxes while we have them. We're going to do some scraping on here. And I am just going to use half of a cookie countess scraper. Okay. I cut mine in half because I needed it for small areas. And we're just going to go straight across the cookie. And I am putting icing over the whole cookie. Okay. Even though some of this is going to be dimensional, we're going to go over the whole cookie. And then I'll clean up the sides because I'm using really thick icing. And I want you to see this specifically because there's airbrush color on here. The thinner your icing is, the more of the color is going to bleed up into your icing and give you streaks. Do you see that? So you want to go in the direction from the front of the unicorn to the back so that your wood sign streaks. I don't have quite enough icing. I got a few areas I need to put a little bit more. But do you want me to zoom in? Can you see what's happening? It's hard for me to tell on my computer because of the bright lights in this cookie studio. But can you guys see as I'm dragging it how the color is giving me streaks because it's pulling up the airbrush color? So you want a thick icing because you don't want to completely lose your white board, but you thinner and it's just going to mess up all of your icing. It's going to suck in the water and you're not going to get the cool streaks. Now, can you see underneath where I did those holes? Hold on, you'll see it in just a second. Let me keep going just for a sec. I don't want to stop in the middle of this. This is a thick icing over my airbrush, and then we roughed up our cookie. So I don't want to go all the way to the bare bottom of the cookie, but anybody that does cakes, you'll understand you kind of want to get to naked cake, right? You want some of the cookie to show through, but you don't want to be all the way. You don't want to take all of it back off. Okay. And if there's any areas you missed because of the way the cookie's baked, just put a little extra on, but try to keep your streaks going the same direction. And then we're going to clean up around the edge of the cookie real quick. And do you see how cool it is where we did those notches? What it looks like with just that thin scrape. It looks like an antique toy that's been painted and sanded. And do you see how much the color changed between what's on the cookie and the icing? I'm going to zoom in a minute, but I can't stop just yet because it'll harden up and then we'll get Crispies and we don't want Crispies. All right, so the easiest way to clean this off and do it quickly, and this is a great way to do this cookie if you want it to look like an antique toy because you can almost always let it sit for like 10 minutes and flip it over and do the other side right away, like depending on how soft your cookies are. Just a gloved hand is really all you need to do to clean this cookie up because you want it to look roughed up. And I'm just using my hand to make sure that the part that I'm picking up, that if I can push it back into any grooves on the cookie where I made those notches earlier, where we took all that time and made the notches, that's what we're doing. I'm putting it into that and then just pulling it off. And I'm just going around the edge of the cookie to make sure that I don't have any blaring dark brown airbrushing showing. Okay. And I don't want big patches of icing anywhere. So now let's take a look at this. I'm going to put a little bit more icing right here, though, with just using my glove. Okay. That's good stuff there. All right. Now I'm going to wipe this off because I would normally be going immediately to the back. But for this video, we're not going to. So normally I'd let this just crust up in the dehydrator like 5 minutes, bring it back out, flip it over, and do the same thing I just did. Okay. That's what I would normally do. And, but we're just going to do this because you do the same thing on this and then the wheels. And then I'll show you what it looks like sitting up. And you need a boo-boo stick or a thingamajiggy. I like to use my thingamajiggy for this just in case my icing consistency is a little off. So I like to start right here. And I like to just pull straight across like I'm doing a board, wipe the tip off in between each scrape. I'm keeping it about 3/4 of an inch. Doesn't have to be a perfect line. I'm going to take a little bit of that icing out between his muzzle and his body right here. I got a little bit extra in there that I didn't mean to. I'm going to hold him. Can you guys still see? Good. Okay. I'm going to come all the way across the cookie like this. I just need to get down into the wheel area doing this because remember, it's going to be covered up with the actual wheels. And I can see I don't quite have enough there. So I'm going to put a little bit more on and then do my line just in case it shows. Keeping my thingamajiggy or my boo-boo stick or my fondant needle clean between each scrape. Now I'm going to turn this. Okay, so I've got my rough areas marked. And I just want to take a little bit more time and come right through here, try to get my line. It can be like notched and rough, but we don't want it to be really super, super crooked, right? We want to try to keep it where we can see what we're doing. And you see, we basically, by just doing that airbrushing on a blonde cookie and then doing our thick icing over the top, we basically created almost 5 colors on this cookie by airbrushing first and then doing our icing. This is how I used to do my beach signs. But I don't mind it taking a little, I consider the signs when I do signs for weddings and parties, the sign cookies, I consider to be one of the feature cookies because usually they want them personalized. So I don't mind spending the little bit of extra time, but just so you know, if you're cooking for profit or you need to do a whole bunch of a cookie like this, there are way easier ways to do your signs. But I want the patina on this cookie. I want the patina to be like it's an actual aged antique toy. So you'll see what I mean when I get you pictures or when I lift this up in a minute. Like it has to be notched. It has to have different layers like it has flaky paint. Now I'm going back. I have my original line as my guide, but now I'm using the tool part of my thingamajiggy, my scraper part, and I'm just going straight across the cookie to make that groove. And I'm not going to mess with that because I really want that to stand up a little bit, right? I want to leave that, or that space rather, not stand up, but I want the space because I don't want that to get brittle and break off in a bag if I did this as a flat cookie. But you can airbrush this, you guys. You could airbrush a sign on here. You could do impression mat before you bake and get your wood grain and then just dip the cookie. There's so many ways you could do this, but I want this in particular because it's the first one in our Christmas series, and I want it to look like an old toy. All right, so let's just flake off the extra little pieces so you can see it. Okay, so you see the patina we got from doing that and how it looks like it's been pieced together. All right, so we're just going to finish one side of this cookie for tonight, though, okay? I need to do the wheels. I'm going to set this right here. I need to do the wheels, 2 wheels real quick. What we just did, I'll just repeat it quickly. I need to do it on the flat side, and we'll put it together, and then I'll show you how to pipe the mane and the tail. And I'm totally okay if this is too rustic for you and you need to do it slightly different. Like if you want to do it perfect, flood it, outline it, airbrush it, I'm okay with that. You do what you want your Christmas set to look like, okay? I'm just saying I want mine to look like an antique toy. I don't know if it was my mom or my dad, but somebody had a horse toy in my family that looked like this. Okay, there's my wheel. See how the gaps filled in? See the difference in the colors that you get on the wheel to make a wooden wheel? All right, I need to scrape the same direction as my cuts and things that I made. Okay. It is okay to leave some of the blonde showing because if it was truly a nicked up toy and it was made from pine or oak, it would be light colored if it was scraped. All right, so we're just going to do 2 drag marks on these wheels. Turn it around and we'll do it this way. See how this icing, now it's been sitting under the light, so it's a little bit more wet. It's not as crusty. So it's harder to get that patina, that cracked wood look. All right, let's do this one. Close, guys, we're close. I'll show you how to do his tail and his mane. All right, so to put this guy together, and I'll take it back apart when we get our video done, and I'll finish the other side and then post that so you'll be able to see in the picture that the whole thing's done. But doing one side, you're going to do the same thing on the other side once the front side dries. All right, so let's pull him back down here. And we want to put our flat sides down on the other side. We want to put this on top. I'm going to put these on top here. We've got our straws that we already cut, and we're just going to go through these holes. Are we? Say we are, but are we? All right, I want to put a little icing on the back to make it stand out and away from the unicorn. Try to line it up through all 3 of these, through the body of the unicorn, rather. That's what I was trying to say, you guys. Okay. All right, there we go. Lift that up a little bit. You can turn the wheel in a different direction, right? Because it would be a wheel. So it can be turned different. Pipe a little icing in here. Where's my other straw? Let's do this and this first. Now remember, on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to add the icing. I'm going to try to keep my wooden wheels going the same direction, though, and then my unicorn body just a little bit different there, okay? And let me just put something else underneath here to hold this up so that I can finish it, since I normally stand this up and work on it standing, but I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing, and that's too tall. Let me just use a couple of these little rings. I have these spacers that I use when I'm doing 3D projects like this. So I am going to set my wheel how I really want it to be, though, just in case it crusts up more than I thought it would while I'm working, okay? Everybody okay so far? All right, now I have another bag. I'm going to take my white icing bag. I'm just going to purge what's at the tip, not too much. I'm going to cut it to a wider opening like this. I'm going to drop it into another piping bag. Then I'm going to put it in a second piping bag. Okay. Everybody got their boxes that wanted one of the Christmas boxes? And does it still show that there's any available, so that I'm not telling you to go look and they're gone? Because there weren't that many when we started. Now, once the boxes ship and everybody has their boxes, I have 2 additional boxes I held in reserve. So right before the video drops, like right after Thanksgiving, once I know everybody has their boxes and no one has had any issues or anything, and the post office hasn't, like, you know, done their normal with the boxes, then I'll put those last 2 up for sale if we don't need them. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Do you see how my seam is this way and I have a double layer of bags? We're going to try something different just now. I'm going to turn it with my seam down like this. And I've got 2 bags, and I've got some really sharp scissors. And because I'm working on a small project, I'm going to do a small opening, but I'm going to do that inverted V that we call the chicken beak that we do when we do leaves and we don't want to put a piping tip in. Okay, so this is what it looks like. See that? Now I'm going to come this way. Now when I turn it this way, do you see what happens? How I have another peak? The V is going outward now. So now what I want to do is I want to go in there and I want to cut another little V so that hopefully what I'm going to end up with, hopefully, we'll see. Let's see what happens. Well, that did not work. Hold on. Oh, duh. Sorry. I got to turn it the other way. I want to try to get 4 peaks on this bag is what I'm doing. So I need to cut in on each side. I need to make 2 V's basically. I don't know what I was thinking. Sorry, guys. I need to make 2 V's and just kind of rough up the end of this bag. And it's a double bag so that it'll hopefully keep the icing firm as it's coming out. Because some of the bags are thinner bags. Yeah, see how I'm getting lines? Do you see my lines? I don't need a lot. I just want a little. But I do want to do his tail first because that's easy to practice. So I'm piping like I'm piping a shell, right? See how much this icing loosened up in just the last 20 minutes being under the lights? And just do some curly cues and give him a fluffy tail. And I'm probably going to have to scrape that, thicken this, and redo it. But you get the gist of it for his tail, okay? You can let it start crusting. Yep, forget doing the specialty on this particular bag. I'm just going to have to try to manipulate it like this unless I want to scrape all that. I actually like that, but that doesn't mean it's going to work out that so well for you guys. So just using the tip of my bag to manipulate it because my icing has really softened up to get a nice swirl for the tail. But for the horn, I'm going to flip this around. I'm going to try to go in spirals for the horn. And then, because I want to paint this gold, and I'm going to do it on both sides, and I'm going to do it on the top. So right now I'm just going to use my scribe and draw some of this down the sides. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, and I don't want to pick it up yet because it's not dry, but I just want some icing. I want it rounded like this on the top layer and on the back side, but I do want a little bit of icing covering the outer edge, the rest of the cookie canvas, so to speak, okay? You guys know I like to consider that part of my work area, the sides of the cookies. Okay, let's just draw a little bit of this down. Now you can stop, thicken this up, use a star tip, and make it really defined. I'm kind of digging this a little bit better because it looks older. The other one might look a little too perfect next to this rustic exterior that we created with the boards. Let me just finish this one side, and then I'll show you what this looks like closer. And you're going to have to dirty this icing up with a little bit of dry dusting because it's way like this. You're going to paint gold, so that's fine, but you'll want to dirty that tail up a little bit so it doesn't look bright white next to this antique patina that we created. Hi, sweetie pie. I'm not done yet, okay? It'll be just a little bit longer. Can you wait for me just a little bit? Okay, come get in your bed. Come get in your bed. She wants me to go scramble her some eggs. That's the look I'm getting right now. We eat breakfast for dinner a lot around here, and she wants eggs. She didn't get any. I'll get you some in a little bit, babe. She wants scrambled eggs. She doesn't know that they're $12.50 for 60 eggs. It doesn't matter to me if she wants them. That she gets them. My dogs like rice too. Do your dogs like rice? All right, there we go. So I'm going to pull a little bit of that off. I don't know. Can you see if I lift it just a little? Can you see how I just barely covered it so it looks rough? Let's see if you can see that. So I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. Now, don't forget, I have to let this crust and do the other side. But this is just so you can finish yours. But we're not done yet. We have a cute little thing to make it Christmassy. So I'm just putting some lines. They don't have to be perfect, but I want some lines because they're going to show up with that metallic gold. That is going to, or an antique gold. I'd really probably like to use antique gold on this, but they're going to show up as soon as I put a metallic on here, even if it's an antique metallic. So I want to just keep them going the way that a unicorn horn normally would. And I'm also pulling from the sides to the center to keep it kind of mounded. And by the way, I haven't seen anything in the comments, but is there anything on here that anybody heard from Laura? Anybody that's in the group, did you hear from Laura if her husband is okay or not? All right, here we go. That's going to be it. It looks like carved wood now. I've got some lines going for that. We're going to do that in a color. Let's flip this around and we're going to add on his little holly. We would be doing this on two sides. I'm going to use brown to attach it because I don't want the white to show. So brown, or you could use edible glue if you don't want to mix up brown icing, but I have a bunch of brown icing. I don't even remember what I used it for, but I have a bunch of brown icing. So we'll use that, and it's thick. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take one of our big unicorn leaves, one of our little holly leaves. Let's take 3 berries. Priscilla, are you still here? Let's do this. And we're going to put it right here at the neck. So just a little bit of icing on the back. Again, the brown in case it smushes out so it'll look like the wood. And you'll do this on both sides. I'm using 2 different size leaves. You do, Debbie, you like this? I'm so glad. I hope you guys are enjoying it. It's a lot to do in a tutorial, but for those of you that did not want to do classes this year because the funds just aren't there, I wanted you to have some nice things for Christmas too, right? Classes that you could repeat or do. So I know the tutorials are going to be a little long for the next few weeks, but I think you'll get a lot out of it if you actually take the time and do the tutorials. And I'll try to show you at least one cool new technique each week. So even if you don't get to make the cookies, watch the tutorials. So I like this little, and we'll do that on both sides. And then we'll paint this. And while it is crusted, can you see how the tail is crusted? Everyone needs a little holly. That's so cute, Holly. That's funny. I love it. All right, so let's take a paintbrush. Okay, just any paintbrush, and let's rough up the tail. We'll just kind of, you know, if you bought any of the new moldable royal icing, this would be a great place to use that too. So I'm just using it and kind of manipulating where the icing is so it looks like the fuzz. The old toys didn't have, the tails weren't done with string. They were done with rope that was separated and frayed. So they're more fuzzy looking. And if they're really old and they had to replace it, then the tails, if you check in the antique shops, the tails originally may have been done with cotton or cotton balls, or are they called bowls, cotton bowls? Some of them were done with that. But over time, as that stuff disintegrated, they'd go back and they'd use like the sizzle rope and do them, decorate them. I've seen them done that way. So we don't want this to look too perfect. And we're going to dirty it up. When it dries overnight, we're going to dirty it up with some brown Elite sugar art. Just dirty it up a little bit. But you can really use your brush at this point because it was thick icing. It had about 10 minutes to crust on its own. So I can manipulate it really good right now with the paintbrush and make it look like wool or cotton, or yeah, like cotton balls. You know what I mean? Cattails, sometimes they use the, I don't remember what the name is anymore, but we used to call it silk out of the cattails. Puff that up on crafts and stuff. All right, so there is a good start to our project. We'll be hitting this with some antique metallic, we're going to take it apart and finish the back side. And then we will add a little bit when it's standing up. We'll do the same thing over this part of the tail from here to here on the upper part so you can see it. But we created a really nice rustic antique pull behind toy. Somewhere, maybe in Etsy, I saw a 6-inch duck that I thought would be, if you wanted to do a series of toys, I thought it would be really cute to do the duck. There was duck pull behind toys when we were kids, and you could do 2 or 3 pull behind toys really easily. Use the same cutter for your wheels, do the same style to make a match. This I have to keep going, guys, until it's done. So if you need to jump off or do something else right now, you can. I just have to stay with this so that it doesn't get too dry if I want this look. So that's why I am fooling with this right now. This part takes a little longer. You could have used the moldable royal icing and it would set up even faster. Let's see. Yes, so many things we could do with this, right, Nicole? All right. I like it. If you ever, I live in Virginia. If you ever have to make history cookies for like the 4th graders when they do colonial Virginia, this is great to do the little wigs, the white wigs. We're the home of, what is it? I think 8 presidents Virginia is. And it was, all back in the beginning of time. All of those presidents were from earlier in United States history, but they all had those white wigs, or eventually they became gray wigs. But this is a great technique to use for that too, if you have to make those. Or anytime you have to make cotton, or this even works good for some baskets and some woolen texture. But I hope you like our antique unicorn pull behind toy. I hope you learned a few new techniques that you're going to be able to apply. This will be standing when it's finished, and we'll photograph all of our 3D pieces together. If you watch on Tutorial Tuesday on a regular basis, just know that probably like next 4 or 5 weeks, we are doing more elaborate cookies, more elaborate in that they'll take more time, like what we used to do with the Tiki Hot series, not this summer, but the summer before. So if you want to do the tutorials or watch them later so you can do the recordings, be on live to ask questions, and then do the cookies later. But they are all larger cookies that we're doing for our stand-up series. So this can get combined with the cookie-a-thon piece. If y'all did the cookie-a-thon piece, the Santa's North Pole Fluff and Fold, this toy we're doing, we're using the cutter from back in the springtime, the cutter for the boyfriend gnome. I'm not going to tell you what it's going to look like yet, but it's going to be Christmassy. And there's several other things on the schedule. The schedule has been updated, and the schedule is in the Cookie Snack Attack group in the file section. And thank you so much, ladies. I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right. If anybody has any questions, please let me know. And I hope that you make the project. And if you do, please share it and tag us. We love to see what you're doing. And I want to see your versions too, even if you do super pristine ones, okay? But just be ready in 2023 to embrace the imperfections that are part of our cookie art, okay? All right, we're going to make those things work for you next year so that you can let it go. All right, you guys have a great Tuesday night. I don't think I have anything on the schedule for tomorrow night. But you never know when I'm going to pop on a live. So if you get a text message, just pop on there because it means something has arrived and I want to show it to you as soon as possible. Okay. All right. I'll catch up with you guys later. Have a great night. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you soon.